Yo, what's up, everyone? Right now, I'm doing my 50 States podcast, and I have a very interesting guest today. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Jessica Rodriguez, and I am your cousin.
Now, how did we meet, though?
We met through 23andMe.
Yeah,
But we went to the same high school, it turns out.
that is crazy. We went to the same high school. We have the same last name. We have the same interests. Like right now, we were just talking, and we both like psychology.
Yes.
So that's crazy. And so you're born and raised in Harlingen, or?
Actually, I was born in Laredo.
Born in Laredo.
But because of foster home or foster care placement, I was placed in the Brownsville, Harlingen area. So this is where I've been for the last, 30 years.
30 years. And right now you mentioned foster care. So tell me a little bit about how you got into the foster care, your experience on that.
Okay, so for my experience on that, I would say at the age of 11, me and my siblings, we all got removed from our home. There was a lot of abuse, neglect, things of that nature, and we were all placed in different foster homes. So that was pretty early in, I guess, my childhood.
Right.
And my younger brothers and sisters, they did get adopted, with the exception of my brother that's 3 years younger than me, and he actually lives in Brownsville.
Okay.
And myself.
Might have run into him.
I think so.
Brownsville's so small that you know everyone.
That's true. Yeah, he lives by the southmost area.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. But yeah, I aged out at the age of 18. There were some periods of homelessness, a little bit of, I guess, obstacles there.
Yeah.
And I guess after aging out, I knew that I wanted to have my own family. So I got married very young. With that came all of the different issues that come with being a young parent, especially with no familial support. There was a lot of domestic violence that started in that chapter of my life. Luckily, I utilized a lot of resources. I did a lot of research to see what programs there were for former foster care youth, and all the different resources that they have for domestic violence survivors. And they did have a homeless shelter there in Brownsville, the Ozanam Center, that I was there for a little while. I utilized emergency student loans as well as grant money to secure an apartment for me and my children. So that was a way out of that situation. And then I used a lot of the vouchers and the tuition waiver to continue with my education. So coming out of that, I was able to secure my associate's degree as a licensed paramedic. From there, I became an EMT paramedic who worked out in different ambulance companies. I went back to school to pursue my registered nursing degree. So I became...
I'm sorry.
Sorry. I know. A registered nurse with my associate's degree, transitioned. Now I'm a bachelor's ready RN. And I'm currently pursuing my master's degree as a nurse practitioner. But once again, it wasn't really easy to start off in that educational pathway. And I feel as a former foster care child, you pretty much are told that.
And all of these resources you found are specific for foster kids?
Correct.
Or people who were in the foster system?
Yes, for former foster care.
Former foster care, okay.
Yes. So they have it in Texas, Florida, California. They have something called the Chaffee Foundation. They also have the tuition waivers. They're state, for those states, Texas, California, Florida. And they pay for your college forever.
Okay.
So all you have to do is when you sign up for college, is present that waiver. And so many of the Health and Human Services, I guess, social workers or CPS caseworkers should have this information. And it'll have your information on it, and you present it to your university or your college, and they, I guess in a sense, activate it. And for the rest of the time being, you can use it every single semester, and you don't have to pay tuition.
Okay.
So you can do your doctorate's degree and not have to pay anything. You could do upper graduate courses, not have to pay the $100,000 that it takes somebody else to, to fulfill that tuition need. So although you do have a lot of obstacles like shelter or just familial support, at least you have that financial support to kind of get you out of that situation. Since foster care, I have kind of reached out to my biological family. I have reestablished some relationships with my biological mother. My biological father just kind of did get to meet him when I turned 18.
How was that experience meeting your father, your biological father?
So I learned a lot about my biological father. It turns out that when he was 17, he was in some sort of gang affiliation in Laredo.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yes. And so a little bit of drug usage, a little bit of maybe alcoholism led to him. He, I guess, got aggravated manslaughter. He killed someone with a bat in a gang-affiliated, I guess, fight. And that led for him, he went into the prison system. Right. And when I turned 18, it turns out, he was now living with his mother, and he is diagnosed schizophrenic. So I met him a couple of times, maybe 4 different times. The last time I saw him was in 2020. And he presented just textbook catatonic schizophrenic. At times he does make sense, but it is just very... it's a very unusual experience to see someone that you've never met, and then once you do meet them, they're just not in their mental state. Right,
so you kind of didn't meet your real dad? Right. You met partial of your dad?
That's right.
Okay, wow.
So...
After all these years of waiting, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because I didn't know who he was or what he looked like.
And how'd you find your dad?
A social worker of mine.
Social worker, okay.
Yeah, gave me his information, his address. And when I turned 18, the first thing I did was I looked for my biological parents.
For sure, yeah.
But my mother was still in prison at the time. So I didn't get to meet her until a little bit after. When she was released from prison, she went to a rehab in the Roma area.
Okay.
And
why did your mom go to prison?
So she went to prison because her and my stepdad did a lot of I guess they snuggled in immigrants through the checkpoint, but they had also done a little bit of drug trafficking before then, so they were on parole for that. And this was when we were already removed from the home. Okay. And we were removed for, abuse, neglect, physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, all of the things. Like we would stay at home for maybe a week or 2 with no food, electricity, water. But of course, my brother and I had to figure out resources. Maybe we'd, borrow food from the neighbor or, borrow electricity or just different ways to survive. So that was the upbringing and the environment that we're in before we were removed. Circling back to my mother, she was in prison because of the smuggling drugs, the smuggling of the immigrants. Right. And when she did come out, she went to a rehab center, and I think it's Roma, somewhere up in this little area. She lasted there for maybe 4 months, and then she reached out. I guess she was ready to, be done with her rehab recovery, and she just needed somewhere to go. So at the time, I had my own apartment.
She reached out to you?
Yeah, she reached out to me. Yeah.
How many years had gone by that you hadn't heard of her?
From the age of 11, I saw her in one of the girls' homes in Corpus area when I was about 14. And then that was the last time I saw her. And I didn't see her again until I was 18. So,
okay, wow.
But I do remember a lot, since I'm the oldest. I remember her before her addiction, because she had an addiction. Right. So before addiction, during her addiction and after her addiction. So I do have good memories of her before then. And then I remember all the trouble and, all the different things that were happening during and a little bit after. There was a lot of, a lot of emotions when I did get to see her again. A lot of therapy that I underwent to try to understand and associate now as an adult, now that I'm a mother, to try to understand all the different traumas that she herself went through. Okay. So
that's good that you're putting yourself in her shoes.
Yes.
In a way, yeah. And when you were a kid and you were removed, I assume that you didn't want that to happen, even though you were going through all that stuff.
Yes, it's
You know,
some
you're
sort
still
of
attached to
psychological phenomenon.
But
And
now, as an adult, do you regret or do you appreciate that you did get removed?
I do.
Okay.
I feel like it gave me a fighting chance.
There you go.
It made me understand that my environment was not the normal. It also made me appreciate that I was able to get that assistance that maybe my mother was not.
Yeah.
So she was unfortunately unable to get that assistance in her environment, and she succumbed to whatever struggles she was going through in her mental health. And that's another reason why I've decided to study more of the psychiatric component, because our mental health is really important.
Right, it is.
No matter, you know, who we are as an individual or what social status we're in, mental health doesn't care. It affects us all of us, you know, in one way or the other.
Yeah, that's true.
And it can bring us down.
And like, you're like, your story is very inspiring because you went through the care system, the foster care system. You still came up on top. But did you go through any abuse during the foster care?
Most definitely.
Okay.
I believe that.
Do you want to share that, or?
Yeah, I'm an open book.
Okay.
I do want to kind of release some sort of book to other foster kids that might be in the system at this time and feel like they don't have anything to look forward to, or pretty much feel like their future is already destined. And I don't want that to be something that they believe to be true, because that's really not how it has to be. We can, once we leave the system, decide for ourselves, and no matter what obstacles may present, we can persevere. And if we have the right resources, and so my goal is to kind of spread more resources to other children in care, because you do feel alone in care. You are kind of shuffled around different homes. You do see a caseworker here and there sporadically, but there's such a high turnover that you don't really get to bond. And you're kind of just with your clothes in a bag, just waiting to see where else they're going to drop you off, how these different foster homes are going to be. Some of my foster parents were abusive physically. Some of them had, you know, sexual tendencies and perversions that they would kind of do to children, male or female. Some of them would kind of lock up the food. So, yeah. So there was different, like food insecurity. So it's been, I would say, something like your humanity. It's something as simple as your humanity. Your right to be able to eat something when you want to was restricted. Your right to privacy for those foster dads that were kind of like perverse in wanting to catch a glimpse of when you're having a private moment, like showering or disrobing to change in your room. Taking advantage when you're asleep and trying to, you know, cup a feel or you know, any of the sexual molestation. The punching of an angry foster parent after you talked back. You know, sometimes because your caseworkers, they kind of come and go. You don't really have anyone to advocate for you. Yeah. So you feel like you left one abusive environment, and it was a good intention that the state comes in and takes you away. But I don't know. I'm sure there's like a background check and there's a process before a foster parent becomes a foster parent. Yeah. But sometimes some can slip through the cracks. And it kind of makes me shake a little because I'm remembering some of it. But I'm hoping that with awareness, there's more advocacy and there's more protection for children. Better
background checks or better evaluations of those parents, those foster parents.
With some of those negatives, I have heard, and I do know that for my sister, she was adopted by a very loving family. You know, they do love her, and and they provide not only emotional, but every sort of resources for her. And you know, I think she's now 30 years old. Oh, okay. And she's still, you know, going through college, but they're very involved. So I know along with the negative, there are some positive parents out there that are actually doing it because they love or they want, you know, to take on that role.
When you outgrow the system,
right?
Let's say you had amazing foster parents, so you're allowed to continue that relationship as you get older, or you have to cut ties, or how does that work?
I think it's all dependent on the foster parent, because with my foster mom, the positive one. She's passed away now. She passed away,
I'm
and
sorry about that.
it's okay. She's, I'm guessing she's in heaven. She's resting. She was an amazing woman. She was maybe I think 60s, in her 60s, early 60s.
Oh,
Very
okay.
patient with me at the time. When I was in my, I guess, teen. I was about 15, 16. And I was a little bit rambunctious, and
Yeah, I can see it in your face.
so I'm
went through the
much
same
more
phase.
calm. So yeah, she was very very patient with me, very understanding. She had good intentions. She did take good care of me. She passed away from kidney failure is what she passed away with. But before she passed, I did go visit her in I want to say it was 2010. And she got to see the mature me, I like to call it, my more calm me, my mom version of me, which is a very different version of me. And she got to meet my 2 oldest sons.
Okay.
And she just expressed how proud she was. And you saw her taking in the moment. I guess for her, she did want to make a difference. And, she had, I think, 6 of us at one time. And she made sure that we, had something to do for the summer. She took us to church every Sunday. That was another thing. I got to see all these different religions through each foster home.
Oh, okay. They all had different
That was a
things.
different perspective, yeah. But with her, she took us to church every Sunday. And like I said, she made sure that we were taken care of. That home, I can say there was no sort of abuse. She just, I lived with her for 2 years, and I have nothing but positive experiences with her. Her name was Mrs. Gonzalez, Minerva Gonzalez, and she lived in the Brownsville area. And that's why I went to Pace after I came back down from
Disgusting
Dallas.
school.
But I went to Rivera before then.
Amazing school.
And so...
That is crazy. We went to the same school.
10 years apart, right? Because I was there 2004. 9? Okay, 9 years apart.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And but so now that you outgrew that and now you're a mother, how many kids do you have?
Okay, brace yourself.
Okay.
I have 4 teenagers, and then I have my school-age son, and then my toddler. So in total, I have 6 for me.
You have an elementary.
Yes,
okay.
and I do. And then I have my 2 stepchildren, from my heart. Different womb, but still from my heart.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've seen them grow up. I met my stepson when he was about 5, and my stepdaughter when she was 2. And now he's 17, and she's 14 already. So I've seen them all grow up together. We call each other, my husband and I refer to our children as the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everywhere we go.
Or cheaper by the dozen, too.
Oh, yes, that's another one. We go on family vacation, and it's always a big van so that we all fit. But I'm enjoying every chapter of motherhood. I'm so proud of my children.
You're giving them all the love that you didn't get.
Yes, I have a lot of love, and I've always been like that. Every time I was in a foster home, when I had little foster brothers and sisters, I wanted to take care of them. I also did a lot of advocacy for them. I always made sure that when I knew about resources or anything, to share that with them, and so that they had less of a feeling of being alone, because you do feel kind of like you don't belong. Even, during the holidays, those are really hard. And so I've never really liked holidays until I became a mother. And now we have traditions and things of that nature, but I wasn't used to holidays very much, and I wasn't really used to a traditional background. But I can say that my children are, and I can only imagine all the great things they're going to do, because I'm hoping to leave a nice foundation for them, and that's why I'm working so hard to bring a better, a better foundation for them, to leave something behind that they can use to catapult themselves into a better space than what I, worked with. I started with nothing, and I believe that I'm doing very well.
When you were in foster care as a child, what kept you motivated? Like
my brothers and sisters. I knew that I had brothers and sisters younger than me,
right.
And so I wanted to make sure. And then I will say, side notes, there were a lot of caseworkers and a lot of individuals that crossed my path. And at the time, I was kind of, how I mentioned, very angry at the world. And they would say a lot of different things, such as, you'll be in prison by the age of 18. No one's going to want to adopt you. Your mother doesn't love you. A lot of different negative commentary. So I wanted to be able to look at them and say, I'm not in prison. I'm actually, a licensed paramedic, or I'm a registered nurse, or I advocate for my patients. I'm able to show compassion to my community by helping. I'm an essential part of the community. I wanted to prove them wrong. And that was a big motivator, was the ability to prove all of that negative stigma that comes along with a foster child.
For sure.
But yeah, it's taken me a long time. It was an easy journey. Like I said, there was many times where I remember here in this parking lot, studying in the parking lot because I didn't have Wi-Fi or a home, and so I would just kind of hang out in my car, trash bags in the trunk, and the Ozanam Center or things like that to be able to shower or to get ready and go back to class. And I think that there was a lot of, there were a lot of obstacles that some of my professors, some of my instructors, they were able to work with me, and that made it possible for me to get an education. Oftentimes when I did have a car that was kind of not the best, and it would leave me in
my
certain
first
sections.
car was not the best either.
My first car was a $200 car. It caught fire on
wow.
and it came with a fire extinguisher in the back.
Just in,
and I thought, why does it have one?
So it's a common thing.
It was, something. So the fire department came, they kind of cut all the wires, and so then that was a pretty penny to fix.
Oh, you fixed it.
I had to fix it. I still kept my little Dynasty car. It was funny because one time it was raining so hard, and I decided to turn on the windshield wipers, and it starts going, and it's going really fast, and I just see the plastic kind of fly away, and it just stays with the metal part.
Oh, wow.
And so I have to turn it off, and I have to kind of Ace Ventura my way out.
Oh, shit, okay.
So, yeah, it's been an adventure.
I thought you were going to say fire came out of the windshield.
No.
Oh,
No.
damn. You're married, right?
I am married, yes.
How was that experience for your husband? Did your husband, obviously your husband knows that you're a foster child.
Yes.
How did he handle that situation?
Remarried, I would say, because of, I guess, my previous marriage was more of the domestic violence situation. But with my husband now, I will say, we actually met because we started talking about the restraining order portion of it. Okay. So that's how we kind of started talking and became friends, and we started. But anyways, he is very, very well aware of all the different trauma that I've been through. And I will say he's a great supporter. He is, I would say over the years, a lot more open to emotional discussions. And I guess I can thank him for being so patient. Patient with me. Because a lot of the things, like I said, they were not normal. Like the traditions, because of him, I know a little bit more about traditions. And now I'm well versed. Christmas, I have 3 Christmas trees at home. We're all decorated. But when he first met me, I was the kind of person that kind of, I needed to go to work. It was like any other day. It took me a while to kind of put myself into the more traditional upbringing that he had. But he has a different background than I. But I think that because we're so different, and he sees how hard I work, that's one thing that he tells me, is that I never let anything become an excuse. So if I didn't have parents, I didn't make it my excuse to not work hard to get to where I am. Because I suffer sometimes from imposter syndrome. I feel like because I don't have some of the similarities that my colleagues do, I don't belong in that setting. So
I understand that,
yeah. So I speak to him about it, and I feel like we kind of, now we're in a place in our marriage, we've been married for 10 years, where we're able to kind of talk to each other about anything and everything. It hasn't been easy. I don't think any marriage is, and I think more so because of my background, there was a lot of anxiousness when it came to relationships, and a lot of getting to know each other's backgrounds, because it's 2 different backgrounds coming together, problem solving through life, and it hasn't been easy. But I can definitely say that I don't see myself kind of venturing into this life or into this journey with anybody else, because
honestly, props to him, because there's a lot of people that they know that you went through something, and no, they pursue the relationship, but then bring it up later on, throw it back at you, and you're
Yes.
like, you knew this from the beginning. You knew this is what I went through, and now you don't want to be with me because you know.
Yes.
And it's great that he stuck around and stuck by you. You know.
Yeah. And we went to therapy together, and I feel like a lot of the different trauma that he went through as a kid, I don't know, all the different, I don't want to call them traumas, but I can't think of a better word for it. Different experiences, I guess, that would make you have like an anxious attachment style, an avoidant attachment style, or any sort of communication issue. I think everyone says communication is key, and while it is key, comprehension is even more so.
Oh.
Right? You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. I hear that all the time. Communication is key. Communicate. But what you just said right now, comprehension.
Yeah, that's essential.
A lot of people lack that. That's
yes,
true.
It's
Holy
essential.
shit.
And I think the more that I
Bars. I'm stealing that from you. Okay.
Okay. And so the more I think about it, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm also on the side trying to also pursue very slowly a second bachelor's in psychology, and I think that's why we said maybe we are, because you're also interested in psychology, to understand human behavior a little better.
Because when I got out of the Army, I was gonna go do that. I was gonna come back to Texas, and I wanted to study psychology because I love that.
Yes.
And then you brought it up, and I was like,
yes.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, because the human behavior is so interesting. I was listening to a webinar, I believe, and it was about negotiation, right? The art of negotiation and how people feel. And it had to do with I think she was versed in psychology, and she was talking about human behavior. And I believe I was listening to it because I have a fear of public speaking, but here I am doing a podcast. But we're doing great.
You're doing great, yeah.
And I tend to get really anxious, so
I might pick up that one too.
Yeah.
You chose this list.
I did. It's my fault.
Yeah, sirens do.
In retrospect,
sirens do go through.
Yeah. Oh, human behavior.
Yeah.
So where was I going with this?
Choosing bad locations.
Yes.
Yeah,
so that human behavior. Choosing the worst location, and this is a very busy street. I don't know.
Who thought of this?
Don't trust my location picking ability.
I just found out someone doesn't know when the car indicates that it's low on fuel.
That's true. Oh, that was me yesterday. But I was only out of fuel for 7 minutes, and then my husband came to my rescue.
Okay.
But I forgot.
Yeah, you were saying that we were talking about mental health, psychology.
Yes. So that was another reason why I'm interested in psychology, human behavior, and to understand like the background on. Okay, so example, two individuals, same environment.
Oh, I got it. You were saying, because I don't want you to lose that thought.
Okay.
You said that you had trouble public speaking.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do actually. I freeze. I can do okay 1-to-1. I could do okay maybe 1-to-2, 1-to-3 people, but you put me in front of an auditorium and I freeze. So I was trying to figure out how to kind of get over that fear, because I feel like it limits you, and it also makes people question your validity or question your credibility as to if you know what you're talking about. And all it really is anxiousness or nervousness. So that's why I started to watch that webinar. It talks about human behavior and communication, and that's where I was able to kind of pick up on comprehension being key.
Okay, yeah.
So because you can communicate all day back and forth. But if I'm not understanding what you're saying and you don't understand what I'm saying, then there really isn't like a solid point to our communication.
Right, because there's a lot of people that they're hearing you, but they're taking it in as a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, so are you saying this? I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. That's completely a whole different direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I got the comprehension is key. Because you're right. It often gets misconstrued, or just the point is completely lost. So what else?
How I got, because in the Army, you have to do classes in front of the other soldiers. Once you reach a certain rank, a certain level, once you reach a team leader, you have to do classes. You need to teach drills and stuff. So I used to have that fear too. I used to get nervous and anxious and stuff like that. But doing it over and over and over again, teaching the young privates how to disassemble weapons, how to clear buildings, all that stuff. Now that I'm out here, now I speak to some. Okay, I need to catch myself, because sometimes I speak to civilians like they're still my soldiers.
Okay.
So I've been struggling with that to like relax. They're not soldiers. They're
civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but at least it took the fear of talking to people, you know, because now as a director for films, I have to talk to the whole cast,
Yes.
and sometimes I catch myself like I'm sending orders instead of
Right.
like helping them understand comprehension, you know.
It's key.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. So that's my goal. Yeah. To be able to not be.
Do you have a title
scared.
for your book? Like you have an idea of?
Yes. A product of the system.
Huh?
A product of the system.
A product of the system. A
Yeah,
product of the system. Okay.
yeah.
I thought it was going to be called something like low fuel.
Low fuel. Actually, maybe that could be part 2.
A product of the system. Okay.
Yeah.
And when
I'm
are
still
you?
working on
Well,
it.
like when is what's your goal that you want that book to be released by? What time?
Goal would probably be like 2028.
2028.
Yes, since I'm working on 2 degrees
Mhm.
and I'm mothering 6 children and I'm working full time.
Mhm.
I figure, you know, on my downtime, because I'm taking the second bachelor's degree in psychology with a minor in creative writing, so that I'm better able to write this book. And it really is just to use as like awareness or a guide for foster parents, foster care system, and even the foster children or teenagers, so that they don't feel like there's really nothing, you know, like their future is destined. I want them to know that it doesn't have to be like that.
It doesn't have to be like that.
Because
Yeah.
it really doesn't. If you would have asked me when I was a teenager, I would be able to obtain all of these different goals. It would have seemed like a distant reality. But
Because I went through a similar mentality. Like my mom, my dad, they didn't go to college. They didn't have the best life, careers, nothing like that. So I didn't grow up, you know, in a nice environment. So after 18, I was always blaming my parents. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I was always blaming my parents that I'm not where I want to be because of them. If they would have tried harder in school, I would have had a better life. But it is true what you're saying. Once you're 18, it's time for you to change that destination, which I did.
Yeah.
You know, once I understood, like, hey, you know what? Stop bitching, stop complaining, stop pointing fingers. It's time to get your shit together because you're 18 and over, you know. So I can relate a little bit with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know what the foster care system feels like, but I understood you on that portion.
Yeah. And it's okay to sit with our feelings and understand that we can grieve like certain parts that we might have not been privileged to. Like maybe our upbringing was harder than others, and we can sit with those feelings, acknowledge them, but I guess in a sense also use them as fuel to try to fight I guess the obstacles that much harder to be able to have a better outcome and a better future, and to help others who might not be there yet. And I hope that that's what I'm able to bring to the table with the book, or even when I become a nurse practitioner in the mental health world. I want to be able to advocate for those people, because sometimes those people, they unfortunately succumb to their environment and life was too hard for them. And life was, how do they say, life's gonna life, or life is too, you know, overwhelming for their mentality, and unfortunately they just crumble. And oftentimes all they really want is somebody to care for them. All they really want is that humanity portion of it, because who knows what they went through.
Right. Do your kids know about your story, or they know a little bit about
They
it?
know a little bit about it. Some things I feel like I might not be able to disclose, if ever, out loud. I feel like some things, there are some things in my file that I've read that I still struggle with, that I've asked my biological mother, to which she has denied. But I'm kind of shaking. But I really don't know if it's fact or not. But I have faint memories where they're kind of chopped of different drug houses or different interactions that I went through as an 11-year-old. And that pushes me to believe that some of those things maybe were true.
Okay.
And
you are Rodriguez from what side of the family?
so Rodriguez, I'm actually Rodriguez through marriage.
Through marriage.
Yes.
Okay.
So my
That was a coincidence then.
yeah, I know, that's why I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah.
And we both start with a J, so
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. But Yeah, I would say that because of the different things that I've gone through, I didn't learn about boundaries till maybe 2 years ago, and that was through therapy. And oftentimes, boundaries are well, they're not talked about so much when you're growing up. I don't think you just kind of like pick up on them because they're social cues and environmental, like I believe so. I could be wrong, but I really didn't know about them. And the reason I bring them up is because I feel like a lot of the things that I went through as an adult, in the workplace, in relationships, friendships, platonic relationships or romantic relationships, I would have been able to navigate those worlds a lot easier if I would have known about them. So I also want to talk about that in my book. I want to talk about anxious attachment, avoidant attachment styles, because when you are growing up in environments that are not healthy,
Right.
you tend to think like that's normal, or you tend to think you kind of also get like a emotional or a mental type of manipulation,
Right.
and people can kind of sway you because you don't know any better. So I also want to kind of write on that part of it, so that maybe somebody that's not privileged enough to know that these things exist, they can have that awareness, and they can, whenever they're going through something in their life, they can incorporate those tools, because you can pick them up through therapy, but sometimes if you're just trying to survive, trying to figure out where your next meal is coming from, trying to figure out where you're going to sleep, you might not have time to like learn all the different things. I know that there's like the hierarchical needs, right? And it's like you start off on the bottom with needing food, shelter, water, the most basic necessities. And the some of the patients that have succumbed to their mental illness, they didn't have any of those things, so they can't even like work themselves up to where other people that have success are at. That means that all their basic needs are met.
Right.
So that's, I guess, circling back to the book, and then circling back to other foster kids. I see children, and I think I have a soft spot for any child in any sort of situation. Likewise, any person that's struggling with mental illness.
But I do want to touch back on the 23andMe.
Okay.
So because I reached out to you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I was reaching out to everyone. I reached out to you. What was going through your mind when, or have you had other people reach out to you?
I had about maybe 4 or 5 people reach out to me, and I messaged them. When you reach out to me, I thought, oh, cool, another cousin.
Yeah.
It's always really exciting because of my background. Obviously, I want to learn like who am I related to?
Yeah.
What's everyone doing? I want to learn like more parts of myself biologically, like bloodline. And then seeing similarities, that's really exciting for me.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I thought it was so uncanny that we were so close in distance. Obviously now you're, further away, but other than excitement and curiosity and just like a flooding of emotions, all positive. I guess I wasn't expecting for us to meet in person. That's also really cool.
That is cool, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I can summarize it by saying excitement more than anything, and curiosity.
Yeah, it was really, really nice meeting you. Really, for the first time seeing you. I love that it sounds like it kind of feels like we've known each other for a long time.
That's what I was gonna say.
It's pretty
like
cool.
It's not awkward. I feel so like like I'm here. I am pouring myself out.
I'm over here bullying you about not having gas in your car.
You see, we already have it.
But I am gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
So this is gonna conclude our video for our 50 state podcast. But I want to say thank you so much for meeting with me. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. And I loved hearing about what you had to share about the foster care. And I hope this is not the last time that we meet again.
I hope not.
Yeah. So thank you, and deuce.